अब बच्चे खुश और मम्मी भी। कारवां मिनी किड्स।
Hanuman cursed by the Rishis. Hanuman was a very naughty and a mischievous child. The baby monkey Hanuman was the incarnation of Lord Shiva and was also blessed with rare boons. Hence, he never feared anyone or anything. He was always high on energy and was looking for ways to use his energy. Sometimes he jumped mountains or pulled trees. He would even catch animals by their tails and pull them. His presence baffled everyone around him, but everyone loved him as he never caused them harm. Hanuman did not even spare the Rishis from his mischief. He would go to their hermitages and cause havoc. Sometimes he would break their kamandals or pull their beards while they were meditating. He would even change their seats or hide their deer skins. The Rishis were helpless and could do nothing. They were aware of blessings given to him by the gods. After a few years, it was time for Hanuman to get admitted in a hermitage for education. But he was now not here. His worried parents explained to him to focus on studies, but in vain. The parents tried everything and finally went to the Rishis for help. The Rishis were equally distressed. Rishis, please help us. We have obtained Hanuman after leading a life of penance for thousands of years. You are the only kind souls who can help our child study. We will be highly grateful to you, said the parents. Hanuman is extremely powerful, and his power is the only reason for all the problems. He can only be changed if he is made to forget all his power and strength, thought the Rishis. They knew that Hanuman was Lord Shiva's incarnation and was destined to save innocent people. But the Rishis also knew that the only way to educate Hanuman was to teach him humility and forget ego. Then the descendants of Brigu and Angira appeared in the hermitage and cursed Hanuman. You will forget this power you used to trouble us for a long time, Hanuman. You can only use it once you are reminded of it in the future, they said. Soon, Hanuman became humble and modest. He stopped troubling others. The Rishis and Munis were very happy to have him around now.
Hanuman with Sugreeva. Hanuman was greeted with a warm welcome by Bali and Sugreeva. Bali and Sugreeva were already close to each other and respected each other. Bali was impressed by Hanuman's extraordinary strength and wanted to become close to him too. But Hanuman never forgot his promise to Sun God of protecting Sugreeva in all walks of life. Once, Mayavi, the son of Maya, came to Kishkindha during midnight. He started roaring loudly in order to challenge Bali. Hearing him roar, Bali got very furious and rose to fight him. Bali's determination to kill Mayavi was clearly visible in his eyes. Mayavi saw this and ran for his life. He went beyond the edge of the world into a subterranean passage. Bali saw him and was going behind Mayavi in the cave. Bali then asked Sugreeva to guard the mouth of the cave for 15 days until he returned. Sugreeva agreed. 15 days had passed, but there was no sign of Bali or Mayavi. As a good friend, Sugreeva waited for an entire month for Bali to return. But Bali did not come. Sugreeva thought that Mayavi had killed Bali in the cave. He quickly covered the cave's mouth with a huge rock to prevent Mayavi from escaping. Disheartened, Sugreeva then went back to Kishkindha. The kingdom of Kishkindha now needed a new ruler. Sugreeva was chosen as their new king as Angad was still too young. However, Bali returned back to Kishkindha after a few days. He had killed Mayavi. He was in disbelief when he saw Sugreeva sitting on his throne in the palace. His anger knew no bounds now. Bali thought that Sugreeva had purposely covered the mouth of the cave with the rock in order to become king of Kishkindha. Sugreeva tried all means of convincing Bali, but in vain. Bali was too angry to listen to Sugreeva. He had decided to kill Sugreeva and was running after him. Hanuman was also running around with Sugreeva. All of a sudden, Hanuman remembered the curse given to Bali by Rishi Matanga. The curse was that if Bali ever entered Matanga's hermitage, his skull would burst into pieces and Bali would die instantly. Hanuman told Sugreeva of this curse and asked him to seek shelter in Rishi Matanga's hermitage. Sugreeva followed Hanuman's advice and hid in sage Matanga's hut. Bali saw this but knew he could not enter this hermitage, and so he stopped following Sugreeva and went back to his kingdom. Kaliya Serpent. Once, a very large and poisonous snake called Kaliya made Yamuna river his home. Due to his venom, the entire river had become poisonous. All the fish had died. Even the cows which drank the water from the river were dead. Its poisonous vapors were killing the birds that flew above the river. Shri Krishna came to know about Kaliya and the venom he had spread in Yamuna. He knew he had to get rid of the snake and purify Yamuna. Shri Krishna climbed a tree and jumped in the river. The river overflowed when he entered. On seeing Krishna, Kaliya the serpent started attacking him. He tightened and coiled himself around Krishna. Soon Yashoda, Nanda and other villagers gathered around the river. They were all worried for Krishna. Nanda even wanted to get in the river to save him. But Balaram stopped him. Balaram knew that his brother Krishna was God himself. Shri Krishna saw his worried parents and using his paws freed himself from the coil of the serpent. Kaliya then tried to bite him, but Krishna stood on his hood. Kaliya had 1,000 such hoods and tried raising them on Krishna. But Krishna stood on all and started dancing on the hoods. Soon Kaliya's body started shattering and he was asking protection from God. Kaliya's wives and family also started praying to Krishna, asking him to forgive them. Shri Krishna heard them and stopped dancing. Kaliya also recovered. Kaliya must leave Yamuna immediately. It should be pure. Krishna said, "You must return to Ramanaka island. You should not be afraid of Garuda anymore. Garuda will not harm you now, because my foot marks are there on your hood." Kaliya thanked Krishna and left for Ramanaka with his family and friends. The waters of Yamuna were once again pure and sweet. Earlier, Kaliya used to live in the waters of Ramanaka island with other serpents. All the other serpents always offered food and gifts to Garuda. Garuda was Lord Vishnu's carrier. But Kaliya used to eat all the offerings meant for Garuda. One day, a fight took place between them, and Kaliya had to flee to Yamuna river. Garuda also tried following him to Yamuna, but in vain. A sage had once cursed that whoever came to catch the fish here would die. Hence, Garuda could never come to Yamuna to fight Kaliya.
Ali and the Sultan. There was a man named Ali. He loved making jokes at the expense of others. He made a lot of jokes on the Sultan as well. He told them to everyone. The Sultan once came to know about these jokes. He was furious and asked to meet Ali. As soon as Ali came, he started praising the Sultan for everything. He spoke highly about Sultan's looks, power, and wealth. The Sultan was surprised and impressed. He wanted to gift Ali something in return. "Choose any of these saddles, Ali," he said. Ali took out a donkey's saddle and left the palace. When people asked Ali what happened in the palace, Ali smiled and said, "The Sultan was very happy with me. He gave me his own robe." Ali called the donkey's saddle as a Sultan's robe. Moral: never trust those who make fun of you behind your back. Bhasmasur. There was a mighty Asura named Bhasmasur who prayed to Lord Shiva for hundreds of years. He had gone to a forest and chanted Shiva's name under a tree for decades. Finally, one day, Lord got pleased by his devotion and appeared before him. Lord Shiva asked him what he wanted. Bhasmasur asked to be made immortal. "I cannot grant you that boon. You can ask me something else," Lord Shiva replied. "Dear Lord, then grant me the boon that if I place my hand on someone's head, they will turn to ash." Unwillingly, Lord Shiva granted Bhasmasur this boon. From that day, Bhasmasur had become undefeatable. He caused havoc on earth and then in heaven too. He killed many people. He even tried to kill the gods with his power. The gods ran to Lord Vishnu for help. "Lord Vishnu, we are not able to defeat the evil Bhasmasur. He is misusing his boon. Please save us." The gods pleaded. Lord Vishnu asked the gods to be rest assured. He then transformed into the beautiful Apsara Mohini and went to see Bhasmasur. Bhasmasur could not take his eyes off Mohini. Her beauty was captivating. He told her that he loved her and wanted to marry her. But Mohini denied, saying that he was not beautiful at all in her comparison. But Bhasmasur was blindly in love. He was ready to do anything to marry Mohini. "I will marry you on one condition. If you can match every dance step that I do, then I will marry you," she told Bhasmasur. He agreed immediately. They both started dancing. Bhasmasur was copying every step of Mohini's dance. When she touched her waist, he also touched his waist. She touched her nose. Bhasmasur also touched his nose. She touched her shoulder. He did the same. It went on for some time. Bhasmasur was doing whatever Mohini did. He was trying his best to match her steps. He was so madly in love with Mohini that he even forgot about his boon. Mohini then took her hand and put it on her head. Bhasmasur followed her and put his hand on his head. The minute he did that, he himself turned into ashes and died on the spot. The gods were all relieved. Lord Vishnu came back into his original form. The heavens were showering Lord Vishnu with flowers. Brave Dhruva's devotion. Once upon a time, there lived King Uttanapada. He had 2 wives, Suniti and Suruchi. Both had 1 son each. Dhruva was Suniti's son, while Suruchi's son was Uttama. The king loved Suruchi more, hence Uttama was his favorite too. One day, Uttama was sitting on his father's lap and playing. Dhruva saw this, and he also wanted to sit on his father's lap. He went up to his father and asked him if he could sit on his lap. But Suruchi intervened and said, "Since you are not my son, you cannot sit on the king's lap. You are unlucky. Go, ask Lord Vishnu to make you take birth as my son the next time." Dhruva was sad and went to his mother in tears. He narrated the entire incident to his mother, Suniti. She was also hurt, but consoled Dhruva. She told him that Lord Vishnu would take care of everyone. Dhruva then asked her whether Lord Vishnu was greater than his father. She said yes. Dhruva then decided that he would look for Lord Vishnu and meet him in person. He was determined, and his mother also could not stop him. Dhruva, who was just 10 years old, left the palace and went to the jungle looking for Lord Vishnu. He spent his days and nights in the forests. He slept on trees and ate wild berries. One day, he met Narad Muni, who asked him what he was doing in such dark forests. Dhruva told him the entire story. He said that he was looking for Lord Vishnu. "You will not meet Lord Vishnu like this, little boy. You will have to perform penance for years together. It is not possible for you," Narad Muni replied. But Dhruva was determined. He said he was ready to do anything to meet the Lord. "Most men who do penance have not succeeded. You will have to go to the tree near Yamuna river and meditate for years. You will have to be without sleep, food, water or exercise," said Narad Muni. Dhruva thanked him for his help and left for Yamuna. He reached there and sat under the tree meditating. He was chanting Om Namah Narayan for years. One day, Lord Vishnu got pleased by his penance and appeared before Dhruva. He opened his eyes and bowed in front of the Lord. Before going in meditation, Dhruva had many questions for Lord Vishnu. But now, after seeing the Lord, he realized all that was unimportant. Vishnu asked him what his wish was. "I only wanted to see you, great Lord. I have no more wishes," replied the young Dhruva. Lord Vishnu was impressed by his devotion. "You are a big devotee with great wisdom, son. I grant you that till the stars shine in the sky, your fame will shine too. All stars will move around you. You will be the one guiding all travelers to their path," said Lord Vishnu. Dhruva then went back home, where he was greeted by all. His father died shortly after, and Dhruva took over the kingdom. He proved to be a great king. When he died, Dhruva became the brightest star in the galaxy. Even today, he shines brightly, guiding all travelers. He is known as Dhruvatara.